The fighting isn't over, but nor is the diplomacy. Still no way of knowing which will prevail. Paul Adams, BBC News, Kiev.
Well, joining me now to talk about these latest developments is Federico Borsari. He's a resident fellow with the Transatlantic Defence and Security Programme at the Centre for European Policy Analysis. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, you just left Ukraine a couple of hours ago. Put into context for us how significant it is, this operation that it managed to pull off in Russia.
Yes, I think the operation was a great boost to the morale of Ukraine, of course. Especially, a couple of days before the actually the day before a really important negotiation round starting in Istanbul today. So I think it was also demonstration that Ukraine has very, important capabilities that it can use to, damage the Russian military, and it has plenty of cards to play, despite what many, leaders in the West and may think. So I think it was, in the context of, increasing Russian pressure on the battlefield, on the ground, from any direction. Ukraine is still standing, and it has, many solutions to really deal significant blows to the Russian military. I think that was the main purpose also of the operation. So showing that Ukraine is very able to hit Russia at its very heart and create massive damages, as we have seen yesterday in the attack in Russia.
And Federico, this operation itself, how long in the planning would it have been? It seems, ingenious in one way, very complicated in others.
Actually, I think it showed how easy and how easily Ukraine can use, commercial type of technology repurposed for military purposes. And I think, again, showed how the ingenuity of Ukrainian technicians and mission planners, was able to really create extremely effective, consequences for Russia. And I must say, the technology that Ukraine used in the attack was not very, sophisticated in nature. It actually used a commercial, type of drones, costing, few hundreds dollars each, and to deal a really significant strike against the Russian strategic bomber fleet. So it's not very, complicated I would say, from a technological standpoint, but it was very, very much, complex from a planning standpoint. So I think here the key aspect that we need to really analyze and dissect is how effective was the mission planning behind this operation, which took 1 year and a half to plan and involved multiple sources of intelligence, from imagery to human intelligence to electronic and signal intelligence as well. So it was a combination really of different sources that Ukraine managed to put together, and I think the real miracle, if we want to call it this way, behind this operation was the mission planning behind it, rather than the specific technology. But of course, Ukraine has shown plenty of times in the past that it is able to really exploit commercial technology for the battlefield, and so it used FPV type of drones to guided by Ardu pilot, commercial and open source software solution for unmanned systems to really use the drones and against the strategic bombers in the airports and in the airfields. And so it was very, very effective, but very easy also in the type of technology used. Definitely.
Would you expect, Federico, that Ukraine have more missions like this planned, particularly at a time when they are notionally at least engaged in talks with Russia?
We cannot exclude that Ukraine has other covered or very potentially significant operations in course or planned for the coming weeks. We don't know for sure, of course. And I think Ukraine has surprised us many times in the past what I think is critical is that, of course, this operation happened one day before an important negotiation, but at the same time, it also has, a political significance because it really showed the weakness of the Russian military before these negotiations. And so, if we compare, also the previous round of negotiation, this time, the Russian delegation was not very happy when it showed up in Istanbul. The faces of the Russian diplomats were not very positive or happy compared to the previous time. So it showed really the effects that Ukrainian can do, in moving the diplomatic, let's say, course. But at the same time, of course, we know that the Russians haven't, allowed many information to come out from the operation, and at the same time, they are also trying to, demand a very maximalist thing from the negotiation table. So I think we still need time to assess, the impact of this operation from a political standpoint. But militarily speaking, it was very, very impactful.
Okay, Federico Borsari, technology defense expert, thank you for joining us here on BBC News.
Thanks so much for inviting me.